Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of Minecraft Disney World. This week we're headed somewhere new. For the first time in the series, we're going over to the Animal Kingdom, which recently opened up on MC Magic, and we're going to be taking a look at quite possibly one of the most popular rides at the Animal Kingdom, Expedition Everest. Now, Expedition Everest opened up in April in 2006, so while it is at this point getting a little old, it is relatively young. It isn't really what I would consider an old ride, and so I think with the newer attractions, what you see is there isn't so much of a juicy history behind it, because that's the sort of stuff that Disney would keep under wraps until those people behind the ride aren't there anymore. However, there is a lot of technical and very impressively technical information out there. So for one, Expedition Everest, just a brief overview. What it is a roller coaster in which you're on a train cart going through Everest, in which a giant mythical yeti lives. And what's cool about the ride is it actually goes forwards and backwards. At times it stops by broken track and then it changes directions, and you know, that's how it sort of does both. And you have maybe a run-in with a yeti. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records, at least as of 2011, as one of, or I should say, as the most expensive roller coaster in the world. Between all the building and the sets and the extras, it was reported to cost over $100 million, and it took about 6 years of planning and construction. Now, today, of course, there might be roller coasters that cost more, but for a while, it was the most expensive, which is really impressive, and it shows that Disney has a lot of commitment, I think, to making sure that there are thrill rides for those who love it. It is actually the tallest of the artificial mountains at Walt Disney World. It is, I believe, 199.5 feet, or it might just be 199 feet. I might be thinking of the Tower of Terror, which is 199.5. Again, everything they build at Disney World is most likely going to be under 200 feet, and the reason of that is because of laws, federal laws. At 200 feet, you have to add a blinking red light so that low-flying aircraft can see them in foggy weather or bad weather. And in most cases, you know, on top of Mount Everest, having a blinking red light would really kill the mood. So they just keep it right under there so that they wouldn't have to add it. And then it just sort of keeps the atmosphere unique and fresh. It's about a 3-minute long roller coaster ride, and inside is this giant yeti, which is the largest and most complicated audio animatronic ever built by Walt Disney, their Imagineering team. It's a 22-foot tall yeti. And unfortunately, it used to move. It no longer moves. What it used to do is take a swipe at you as you were swinging by in your roller coaster cart. However, the framing for the Yeti split early on, and there was a big risk that there would be a big malfunction if it kept doing that. So they put it into what they call B mode, which means it just flashes a strobe light that sort of gives it the illusion of movement, and so it sort of earned this nickname of Disco Yeti. And it's something that Disney can fix, but they're probably not going to do it for a while because it would require shutting down the ride for an extended period of time, just because the way the ride was built, they would have to really take a lot of it apart to get into that frame and repair it. I was lucky enough to be on the ride when it was still in A mode and it was swinging at you, and I can tell you in all honesty, it was one of the few times I genuinely screamed on an attraction, because I knew nothing about the ride at that point except for a Yeti roller coaster. I wasn't expecting this hulking 22-foot animatronic to swing at me as I was uncontrollably like driving towards it in a minecart. It was a really exciting ride. If you're in the Animal Kingdom, you'll probably head over to it because it is one of their few real AAA rides there. It is a thrill ride, so if that's not your sort of cup of tea, then you'll probably want to avoid it. But I think it's fun. It's got a really cool queue. It's got a long queue because it's a popular ride, but it's got this queue with about 8,000 artifacts from Nepal. It's sort of like mini Yeti museum, and it just shows Disney really cares about theming and keeping things rich and detailed. So that's just a short look at Expedition Everest, a really fun ride in the Animal Kingdom, and then now it is a ride that's open on MC Magic. I hope whatever you're doing between this video and the next, you make the most of it. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you here next time for the next episode of Minecraft Disney World. Bye, everybody.